Hi, Jason Frausto for TennisUnleashed.net. Today we're going to go into something that I've really never heard someone talk about before, and that's what makes Milos Raonic's serve different than almost everyone else on the tour. We know that Raonic has one of the biggest serves on the tour, but there's one specific reason to me, besides the other normal factors, that his serve is so big, and we're going to talk about his elastic arm in a second. So Raonic comes from the ready position like this. He has his index finger extended, which is non-traditional. He kind of curls his racket up in this position again. These are just things that are not really biomechanically important, just little nuances that he does. But from this position here, things start to change when he comes into the load. So he goes in the loaded position. This looks traditionally like everyone else, but things change when he goes into the drop and into this position. Now, most top servers usually have the racket in line or on the right side of their back like this, but Raonic gets the racket, instead of in this position, comes from the load, he drops, and the racket will flare out to the right as he comes into this position here and as he comes up to extend. So that position is extremely important. It provides a lot of elasticity and gives you more racket head speed with your arm. So I'm going to show you that one more time. From this position, comes back into the load. From the loaded position, he drops. The racket will flare out to the right side, creating an extra stretch, and then he comes up and he comes through and he snaps on his serve. We're going to look at some slow motion video now of Raonic with and without his racket. We're also going to compare that to Roger Federer, and you're going to see the difference between those two drop positions.
In our first video, we have Raonic and Federer side by side without their rackets, and I want you to watch the path of the hand, how simple that is and how smooth, but I also want you to see if you can see a difference in the path of the hand as it goes through the racket drop and up to contact. Now, hopefully your eyes are better than mine and you were able to see a difference in the path of the hand for both players, but if not, we've got the blue lines here to help you, and I want you to see if you can see a difference in that drop and that position leading up to the contact with the ball. In this section, we're going to use lines on both the hand and the tip of the racket for both players, and what you're going to notice is that, again, the hand path is very simple. That blue line is a very simple path to the ball, but the tip of the racket for Raonic will be considerably bigger in terms of its size than it will for Federer because of that move that happens at the end of his service motion. In this last section, we're going to do some technique comparisons. We've got Raonic on the left and Federer on the right. We're going to use the racket to show the difference because it's a little easier to see with the racket versus the wrist here in the hand position. But what I want you to look at is the massive difference in the drop between where Raonic's racket comes from and where Federer's racket comes from. The easy argument to make would be that Federer's hitting a slice serve up the tee from the ad side, which is true, but that will not change that drop position that you see with both players here. If I just go back a little bit, you can see the way Raonic's racket comes up to the ball and where it's coming from. It's going to have to violently snap forward to create that racket head speed and get to contact, as we see right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you Raonic versus some other servers. We're going to bring up both Dimitrov and Murray next. So now we have Raonic up there with Andy Murray, and we see a couple of really good things just off the bat for the comparison. One, Murray's serving off the due side, and two, they're both hitting flat serves up the tee, so the placement's the same. But the difference really, again, is in that drop position that we see with Raonic, the position that he achieves before he goes up to the contact point. You can see that racket's really flared out to the right. Murray's in a more traditional position, not getting that same amount of stretch, and Raonic is going to have to really accelerate here to get that racket head speed and snap up to the ball. In the last few sections, we're going to show Dimitrov and then a few other bonuses here. So now we have Raonic up with Dimitrov on the right, and as we let the video play through, we're going to see that same drop position and the difference between our two servers. And Dimitrov gets plenty of MPH on his serve, but Raonic is coming at this serve from a different position. He's got more MPH and he gets more flexibility and snap into that serve for a better delivery. We can see both servers going up the tee, and again, both servers off the deuce side. In this last video, we have Milos Raonic side by side with himself with and without the racket, so you can really get a feel for the motion itself. Just as a reminder, make sure you visit and subscribe to FieldTennis.net's YouTube channel as well as TennisUnleashed.net for more videos like this in the future. Another server that gets into a similar position but not to the same degree is Jerzy Janowicz, who we can see pictured next to Raonic here. I'm just going to let this video play through in slow motion. I'm Jason Frausto for TennisUnleashed.net. Thanks for watching.